Hello and welcome to episode 179 of Masters of the Forge. I'm Adam. Hi, Jason.
Hey, Adam. We are here.
Oh,
we haven't blown up. Everything's good.
We're not dead. So we are probably 90% not going to have 2 episodes this month as we suspected. It is a deluge of liquid feces over here, but not in like a terrible bad way. We're just very busy and having a nice vacation. Holiday season, but it's extremely busy, and
yeah,
I've got a bunch of my Christmas presents for people this year is also hobby progress, so that makes it even worse. So before we talk about that, Jason, why don't we talk about your hobby progress?
All right. My hobby progress does not include any sort of presents for anybody, I don't think, unless they're for myself.
You're smart.
Yeah, that, or if someone's enjoying my self-abuse as their present, which I'm sure there are plenty of people who probably like that. All right, so let's get to it. I have 10 Termies on my table, 5 Forge World, and 5 GW from the Thousand Suns line. They are base coated, which you may think, well, big deal, but the way I do base coats, yeah, it is kind of a big deal. There are some details done on them. Like I think I've got all the white detailing, although I probably don't now that I look at it. Great. Mostly done. I'll keep working on those. I base coated 2 of the Thousand Sun Contemptor Dreads and the weapons for 3 Dreads. I've got some details done on the Contemptors as well. I've got the Osiren Dread, the Psyker Dread, hanging out in the desk next to me.
You got a lot of work going on here, dude. Like,
yeah,
a lot of dreadnoughts.
Yeah, they're all just sitting here hanging out on my desk,
and they're
reminding me.
They're not just like, I'm a box dread. No, they're covered in details, and it's just bonkers.
Well, what I did was I got most of the Psyker Dread up to where I want him to be, and so now I'm just going through and moving the details across to make sure it's consistent. And that'll be nice because then I don't have to think as hard about certain things, because that sometimes bogs me down, like trying to figure out what the details will be. Yeah. So these 3 dreads are, they're hanging out. They'll be ready to roll at some point. Actually, probably fairly soon.
We've missed you at the hobby hangouts. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I've been.
But I guess it's catch as catch can, huh?
Well, I've got this giant project that literally will not die. I mean, it's rolling 6s every day, I guess. Boy, it's annoying.
It feels no pain, but it's just passing that pain on to you. You're just like, look out, stirring the pain.
It's like a re-rollable, feel no pain, and then on top of that, there's some other strange mechanic to allow it to survive longer.
Let's not belabor this simile and move on.
Yeah. So anyway, that project's, I think, almost done. I had the final meeting, like, what time is it? 3 hours ago. So hopefully it'll be done by this weekend.
Hopefully it doesn't have "We'll be back."
Quiet. Or what was that one? I've been expecting you from the Inquisition. Yeah. No. Okay. Let's see. 10 Zangors and a Zangor Shaman from the Hexfire box.
They're very spooky.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I painted them correctly, like the way I painted the others, because I was looking at thinking, I don't remember them being this bright before, so I had to go back and figure out what to do. I may have to hit them with the airbrush to bring some of the brightness down. Let's see.
Or just keep going full like Skaven.
No, I'm good. I'm all right. So I just need details on the Zangors and the Shaman. But the base coat for them is basically done. They're more of a real quick turnaround because I just don't want to deal with all the details and like the spookiness. Let's see. I've got some AOS. It was I know it's Zinch terrain, or maybe the spells, the endless spells from Zinch.
Yeah.
And I'm using those as objective markers, and so I finally did some paint on those.
Oh yeah, that's a good use for that.
Yeah, that's kind of a fun. They're actually really fun to paint because I mean, it's you don't have to do a whole lot of detail because they're supposed to be objective markers. So
Yeah. No, and anybody should be happy with some cool narrative themed objective markers. And if you want to stand there and read that book, that's on you. Whatever happens, that's on you.
That's your problem. And then I realized I need to go through and make more Thousand Suns bases just because I've run out. Like I made a whole bunch of them at some point during quarantine. I don't remember when. And so I've run out of them. So I had to go make more. Yay. So Sculpey and the Evan, I think, will be needed.
Sweet.
Unless I have some Sculpey already done that I've forgotten about, but I think that it's going to be close. So, anyway, what about you? Tell us about your hobby progress, Christmas, holiday, whatever spectacular.
Christmas Kwanzaa?
There we go.
Yeah, well, can you tell that we're recording during the day instead of at like 10 at night?
Because we're both like hyped up on coffee.
Hey, everybody, it's coffee time. We're not getting drunk. We're getting hyped up.
I don't know. I was considering getting kind of drunk this afternoon, just, because this project's almost done. I'm just like, yeah, it's time to
celebrate
up.
Or celebrate if you're Celtic or whatever. Anyways. Do they say calibrate? That's probably not even a word. Anyways.
I have no idea.
So I had my Secret Santa open their present, so I can say that I worked last month. Last month I put a bunch of effort into 3D printing a Necron fleet.
That is pretty cool.
They didn't ask for it, but they did ask for Necron stuff, so I got them the Necron stuff they asked for, and also 3D printed them an entire Necron fleet.
That's pretty rad.
It was pretty cool. There was some trial and error involved, and some of the ships are a little weird, but it came out fine. The main thing was drilling out the posts, and of course I did it without wearing a mask now, and then I was paranoid for months, and now I'm like still paranoid because I hate this printer. Anyways,
yeah.
And again, my printer isn't broken. It was fine. I was just not calibrating it correctly. But still, it still causes me great agita. I should just stop using it. Anyway, but I'm not, because I also printed a Hogwarts school for Shauna and a Beauty and the Beast castle for my other sister-in-law.
Wait, hold on. What?
What's up? Yeah. No, you want to see him?
Well, I mean, like, what do you mean by a Hogwarts school? I mean, I'm assuming these are minis for something. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Okay, so Hogwarts is the school from
from Harry Potter, yeah.
Harry Potter, yeah.
Oh wait, did you like go through and like print the building?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I printed that out. Someone had a really good version of it out there, and it scaled down very well. I've noticed that the scaling doesn't work great. Like, for some reason, when I do this, when I work with these, they don't work very well on my PC, but they work fine on my Mac. And I'm not sure if it's the version of the software I have or what, but it works a lot better on the Mac. So it printed out just fine. It's really, really small. Are you looking at it right now?
Yeah, the Hogwarts school. Yeah, that.
Like, look at the keys on the keyboard.
Yeah, it's tiny.
It's super tiny, and hopefully it'll be something that she can put on her desk or something.
That's a lot of detail.
I was shocked. Like, I've had a 3D printer for about almost a year, because I got it for Christmas last year. Like, when you look at the little the courtyard in front of the building on the far left, all of those pillars, those are freestanding pillars. Like, it is, each of those pillars is like the width of a hair, but it's still printed. I'm super shocked. It is really nice. So it's stuff like this that, where I'm like, I hate using a 3D printer. This is stupid. Then I print something this like this, and I'm like, wow, this is the best thing ever. I love the 3D printer. So it's
This would be great for Adeptus Titanicus.
yeah, and there is a lot of Titanicus terrain out there.
Yeah.
I probably should print out a Hogwarts castle to use for Titanicus since I have it all supported and everything. I should definitely print one out to use for Titanicus. I won't put this much effort into painting it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I have
good
that.
paint job too. Very good paint job. Very
I'm
nice.
working on it.
Yeah.
It's still in the. I want to do it real nice. So like each of those, the big annoying part is there's a lot of roofs, and in those roofs there's a lot of little what are they, dormer windows or whatever.
Yeah.
And those need to be retouched, and each one of those dormer windows is like a micron across or something. So I'm gonna have to go in there with my little tiny brush. Well, my number 3 Winsor & Newton brush, but still it's going to need a little bit more love, but I think she'll like that. And then I printed out the Beauty and the Beast castle for my other sister-in-law. And I'll start working on that when this is done. Now,
cool.
my new sister-in-law, whose brother just married into the family, is a Zamboni driver for RPI.
No way.
Polytechnic Institute. Yeah, she drives a Zamboni. And last year she was like, hey, do you know of any models of Zambonis? And dude, I could not find any to 3D print. I could not find any plastic kits. There's not a lot out there. There's some toys.
Yeah.
So this year I bought a wooden toy that comes with like paint that you can paint it yourself. And it comes with all the hockey teams on it, like stickers.
Yeah.
They're all professional NHL teams, so I painted that up, and I hand painted the RPI logo, engineers logo on there. I think she'll like that.
That is pretty cool.
Coffee.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Okay, so I did all that. That's like what I'm working on now. Now, prior to that, for like 40K stuff, I did. We are kind of starting up Crusade again, and I want to use these new Beast Snagga models that the guys gave me from the Queensberry guys gave me. I love them. They're freaking awesome. They're awesome looking, and I think they're perfect for using in Crusade because they're not overpowered, but they're also super fun. And I want to try out this Psychic Orc list, which is also not good, but might be fun in Crusade. And it has been fun so far. But I did paint up 30 Beast Snagga boys, so all of my Beast Snagga boys are painted. That was quite a truck, dude.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I just painted 30 boys from beginning to end. I've been doing a lot of repainting, but not a whole lot of start from scratch. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, it actually went pretty quickly. I did it most like 4 days. Wasn't bad at all. And Tucker had given me a Big Ed Boss Bunka.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
And I got that done lickety splitsville. That was a lot. That was a fun paint. There's a lot of details on it, but the thing with these new orc kits is you can either choose to paint all the details or you can choose to not do that. And I chose to not do that because my scheme, and that's been throughout my whole scheme, is, they just slather paint on whatever. So any vents and stuff got silver, but I'm not gonna I don't know. Some people put checks and dags on literally everything. That sounds horrible. I put some checks. I put some checks on there. Checks are fun. Checks are nice, but I think it looks really nice. I am way happier with that piece of terrain than I thought I would be when it first was released.
Yeah,
I'm super glad that I have one, and I'm going to be adding it to my Crusade force before too long. I think that'll be fun. But that's what I've been working on. I plan on, once I'm done with the Beauty and the Beast castle, I think Christmas Eve or something, or day before, I'm gonna have a nice evening with some tequila and sit there, and I'm gonna paint the Rig Gabo for Christmas.
All right.
And that'll be my last, probably, well, I say it'll be my last piece for the year, but I think it'll probably be the
Pretty close.
last thing I paint in 2021. But that has been my hobby progress.
Cool. That is
All
cool.
right, Jason, games played.
Meh. I'm going to be prepping. I know it sucks. I am going to be putting together a Crusade force over this next week. I'm on an enforced 5-day vacation. And so I'll probably just write my Crusade list there and really start thinking about what I'm going to take.
It would be nice for us if we got a game in. If we did get a game in, we could fire off a quick pre-New Year's chat.
Because I think I'm coming back on the 26th. Okay. So I'll have a few days there.
Maybe we will have a little something. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I just want to play a game with you is all. If that's an excuse to record something, then great.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we can go through and drop drop an episode, a mini-sode of us being idiots.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. Aren't we already doing that?
Delightful. Oh, we could do a We could do a Altar of War or something.
Oh yeah.
Those are easy.
Yeah, just us.
Yeah.
So what about you? I see all these Crusade games. I saw that Mike was in town. I was very sad that I could not be there.
Oh yeah. Well, it was a last minute thing with Omicron.
Yeah.
Rearing its ugly head. Mike figured it was high time he came down and picked up all of his hentai that he had shipped to my house, and he brought Cadbury chocolate and ketchup chips and dill pickle chips, and he totally didn't bring any contraband Kinder eggs.
No, because that would be wrong.
He would never do that. Would be breaking the law. He didn't do that, but he did all those other things. So that was cool. And Mike and I did have a game. We played Guard the Retreat from Engine War. That's the one where the attacker is trying to get into the enemy deployment zone, or be past the enemy deployment zone is kind of in the middle, and they're trying to break through.
Oh,
yeah. So the attacker scores for, if you recall, we did talk about this one when it came out. The attacker scores for getting units in that along the battlefield, the opposite battlefield edge, and they also score for killing anything that was already on the battlefield at the start of the game. And the defender gets to score for anything they kill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, so the Mike's Space Marines, where they were he's been painting a unit of all the chapters he wants to. I think they're all successors. No, because he has some Ultramarines too.
This is the mentor.
He painted a mentor, so he's kind of training. He's kind of trained. The mentor was kind of training each of these squads to work together.
I think he had Iron Hands, didn't he?
Yeah, he had Iron Hands, Ultramarines. So there's
Red Scorpions,
firstborns. Yeah, Red Scorpions.
And there was someone else.
Yeah, there is. It's blue and white. What's blue and white?
Oh, Nova Marines. That's right. He's got his Nova Marines. Yeah.
So that was really cool. They came in and, we came in. I played my Crusade Force. Oh, my Crusade Force right now is a Weird Boy, a Whir Boy, a Kill Rig, a Battle Wagon, 2 units of 10 Beast Snagaboys, and a unit of 20 Beast Snagaboys. And everything, and a truck. So everything fits in the vehicles, and they all come rolling up. And he did manage to take out the kill rig before it broke through, but everything else kind of made it through and nom-nommed on the Space Marines. And I'll tell you, the Psychic Powers did a really good job too. I turned some Space Marines into squigs. That felt real good. Felt real good. It was really funny. We put little squigs on the battlefield too, so I had a bunch of them.
Oh, that makes it even better.
Oh yeah, no, it was cute.
Yeah.
So the Orks were victorious in that game, and we played some board games the next night or that night. Some of my buddies came over and we played some board games. That was lots of fun. We ate chocolate, and I felt sick.
Yeah.
We had pizza. I felt sick. I just basically been feeling sick for the past 2 weeks. I spent 2 months losing 8 pounds for the wedding. I have gained all of it back in the past 2 weeks. I hate myself.
Well, you know.
I had a game with Zane. It was his first Crusade game.
Okay.
And I think he really enjoyed himself. We played Sabotage from the core rule book.
Yeah.
Which is still a good game, a good mission. Sabotage is the one where the defender gets to place 4 objectives. It was an incursion game, just like the one with Mike. The defender places 4 objectives, and they have to be pretty well spread out, so it's tough to just have them all in your deployment zone.
Right.
You have to put at least 1 in no man's land. I think you have to put like almost 2 of them in no man's land. Anyways, he was playing Necrons.
Okay.
Big, mostly infantry Necron force. He's been running. Oh, curses! Actually, here it is. He's running the Nephrik dynasty. They're the dynasty that has harnessed the power of the sun, and they're like glowing orange or whatever. Remember those guys?
Yeah, I do remember
they're
those.
Filled with like an inner solar light, and they've learned to harness that.
Yeah.
And so he's doing the one where he's irradiated. So if you're within engagement range of him, I think it's -1 toughness, just like either -1 toughness. I'm pretty sure it's -1 toughness, just like the Death Guard. So that's really cool. And also, I forget what other one he was using. I think it's the advance and shoot something about movement. Anyways. He's playing them, and that was really fun. I won that one, but the Orks were pretty victorious, but it wasn't a sure thing until later in the game. He held his own pretty well. But that squiggly curse, man, it ate a lot of Necrons. They do not like taking mortal wounds in the psychic phase. They do not appreciate that.
No, they don't.
It was pretty fun. Then a couple nights ago during a snowstorm, which is fine, I went over to Kendrick's house where Adam and Dave and Kendrick were there. Tucker was hanging out. He kind of relinquished his spot. I appreciate that, Tucker. We played Twilight Assault from the multiplayer mission book. I forgot the name of it off the top of my head, but it's the one where you have 5 objectives in a X pattern, 1 in the middle, 2 in each corner.
Oh, okay, yeah.
1 in each corner. And it's -1 to hit things in the shooting phase, except for stuff that's near the objectives, like within 6 inches of the objectives.
Yeah, I'm looking for that book. Catastrophe?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Dave was playing the Night Lords. The Night Lords! So he was actually able to give himself a -1 to hit even in the light. He knows where to hide in the shadows. Kendrick was playing Tyrannids.
Okay.
He has a special hive fleet as well with a pretty good background. When we do finally get a Tyranid release, we should definitely have him on to talk about his army.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And Adam was playing. This was his first 9th edition game and first Crusade game ever.
Okay.
He was playing the Space Marines. What was he playing? Space Marines, Iron Hands. He was playing Iron Hands Space Marines. I took an early advantage. We used the whiteboard. It was absolutely essential.
The whiteboard.
To figure out who goes, what order you were playing in.
Oh,
who had the lowest score? Because you get extra like underdog points that you can spend if you're doing badly. So who has the lowest score, who's had the most stuff killed, and who's going last, you always get these underdog points.
Mm-hmm.
And having the whiteboard to track all of that was really good. That was absolutely essential. You could also just do one up in Word and print it out, or Google Docs and print it out too, just every time you play. But the whiteboard is huge. In fact, I might just buy a whiteboard and put all the lines and stuff on it in permanent marker and then use it multiple times. I guess we also have the like the folders that we use for you can laminate them too. Anyways, that was fun. We had a fun time. I was tired. I was so tired. I barely remember. I might have been a little grumpy at first, but then we had fun. What did we do? Oh, yeah. Anyways, I took an early advantage, but stuff really started just dying, and Kendrick clawed back. Dave actually almost took it, but Kendrick clawed back. Literally, he swarmed the board and swarmed the battlefield, and really he was thinking about taking. There's a agenda that you get like 5 experience if you if there are only Tyranid models left on the battlefield.
Really,
you get points for tabling your opponent, basically. And he's like, I'm not gonna take that. I'll tell you what, he should have taken it, because there were only Tyranid models left on the battlefield at the end of the game.
Wow, that's a metaphor, I think.
What's a metaphor? You know what? It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I can't wait to do it again. I'm so glad to be back playing Crusade games again. I kind of felt like a pretender having this narrative play podcast and not getting any freaking games in.
I understand.
Yeah, I am all Crusade all the time.
Yeah.
I kind of so the Golden Sprue Cup is going again.
Okay.
Some of our local guys are running it, not me, but our guys are. So folks should sign up for that. I'm probably going to sign up. It would be crappy of me not to sign up. But I'm not going to practice for it. I'm just going to keep playing Crusade games. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick of match play. It's stupid.
Well, I'm going to try and get in more games so that when we go to Adepticon that I'm not an idiot. Well, hold on. I'm not more of an idiot than I already am.
Get some local games in, and we'll schedule some TTS. I'm going to have to update my TTS, I'm sure. There's lots of updates. If you send me a list, if you want, I can help put the army together. We're also going to have to figure out what the hell to do with summoning, because it's the worst.
Oh, yeah. I'm probably not going to do much. Well,
it's just the worst.
It seems like it's... Yeah, I need to go back and read those rules.
I don't know what to do with it. I don't think anybody else knows what to do with it either.
Yeah.
Especially Games Workshop. And Crudis isn't answering my emails anymore, so that's fine. So with that, let's go beyond the fringe.
Okay. Yeah, I can do something with that. I can do lots of stuff with that. Okay, so I guess I'm up first. My Beyond the Fringe. Fly catching strips. Yeah, my apartment's really close to the main dumpster, and whenever they empty it out, the flies just kind of swarm over to...
where'd our food go?
Yeah, and so they come to my place. Not that I have any food here for them either, but, the cats like playing with them, and I finally got so tired of it, I put up a very nice, fly paper thing, and there's like, I don't know, probably a couple hundred on there. It's been great fun. There's been a couple of times that, I see all these flies in there, and all I can think of is, great, Nurgle's coming. Cool, that'll be fun. I don't know. That's really all I can think of off the top of my head besides sleep. Yeah, that'd be nice. What about you? I see you've got some cool stuff. Yeah.
Quinn is still not asleep. I'm going to go upstairs and punch him in the face. But yeah, I just got my third booster, and we have been going to Christmas light festivals, and Quinn loves it. He may not ever go to one again because I'm going to murder him right now. Let's take a quick break. I'll murder my son, and then we'll talk about the new Orks lore. Damn, I knew it was around here somewhere. Damn, where is it?
Can I help you?
Ah! Scared me.
What do you seek?
I need the perfect scenario for a narrative game I'm running this week, and I can't find one.
Sir, this is the Black Library. We don't have narrative scenarios.
Well, then where should I go?
Might I recommend the Tabletop Campaign Repo?
The Tabletop Campaign Repo? What's that?
The Tabletop Campaign Repo is an ad-free site for hosting resources related to playing tabletop miniatures wargaming.
Oh, like scenarios?
Absolutely. Also, event packs, custom objectives, tracking sheets, custom terrain rules, maps, icon packs, award templates, and more.
Oh, and this is for Warhammer 40k?
Among other things, there's also Age of Sigmar, Kill Team, Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and others. They're always open for content submissions for any system, even non-Games Workshop materials.
Oh, that's awesome. It sounds like a great way to save all of this great content the community makes. A lot of that stuff often ends up disappearing into a dead message board or Facebook group.
Exactly. It's a real community effort.
Great. So how do I get there?
Just go to that webway gate marked tcrepo.com.
tcrepo.com. Got it. Can I ask you one more question before I go?
Fire away.
This place is really easy to find. How come Armand can never find it?
Oh, because it's more funny that way.
Oh, yeah, clearly.
Once again, the Tabletop Campaign repository can be found at tcrepo.com, and they're always looking for submissions.
Greetings, mofos.
Are you out of George Dickel number 8, staring at a broken chess machine?
Don't want to spend the rest of the year tied to that couch?
Well, why don't you head on over to the 1 Hour a Night Facebook page and see what exciting stuff is going on there. It's a place to post all your daily progress in the hobby grind, as well as receive and give positive feedback. Also, there are usually a few interesting challenges going on.
That's right. All you have to do is search for 1 Hour a Night on Facebook. That's numeral 1 hour a night, all one word. Blood serum tests will be administered prior to approval.
Se til helvete og kom dere vekk. Det er ikke en bikkje, det er en slags ting. Den imiterer en bikkje, men det er ikke det. Kom dere vekk, idioter!
What he said. Welcome back. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the new Orc Codex, new as in months ago. And I know the Badcast actually just did their review of the Crusade content, so I've intentionally not listened to it. To avoid it, and this time we're just going to go through some of the actual like the like almost like the whole Orc Codex itself. Now we don't do like we don't go over every single thing. We're still doing our patented like favorite of each heading. Let's go over the new lore. All right, army rules. No, honestly, there really isn't anything. There's really new.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's true. So yeah, it's really just it really does talk about post, Dark Imperium situation. Yeah. Like Gork's Grin came up, and Gazgul's been teleporting around collecting war bosses, but we knew that. So there's really nothing new. So hopefully there will be something new soon. Still, the Octarius lore is really the new Orc lore that's been happening. So that's fine. And this probably was intended to be, released way before that came out, or about the same time. So we got all that Orc stuff in those books. So that's fine. But again, nothing really new on the Armageddon front, on the Ulanor Armageddon situation. So hopefully maybe that'll be a campaign soon, but I don't think it'll be very soon since we just had a campaign with Orcs in it, and we still have Chaos Space Marines coming up, and Tau, and Craft World Eldar coming. Those we've been looking at those advent calendars with Eldar and Chaos Space Marine stuff in it. And that all looks to be very interesting. And it would be a big miss if we didn't get any campaign content with that.
Yeah,
So I think this is
definitely.
it for Orc stuff for the time being. Now I'm going to go through the generic army rules here real quick, just to give folks an idea of the stuff that Orcs do now. So Orcs, a lot of our assault weapons have been switched to DACA weapons, which are kind of like rapid fire, but instead of double the shots at close range, they have so they have a lot of shots at half range and then a little bit less at long range. It's not usually half. It's like
Okay.
it's almost like 2/3.
Oh,
So like
okay.
a big shooter has 5 shots at 18 inches and 3 shots at 36 inches.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's not a doubling, but it's yeah.
Yeah, I think that they were concerned that half the shots at long range would be just pointless the way Orcs shoot.
Yeah.
We're not very good shots. So like shooters, regular shooters, they have 3 shots at 9 inches and 2 shots at 18 inches. So it 2/3 basically at long range. The only problem is there's a bunch of abilities in the Orcs army that have to do with advancing and shooting, and you can't do that with DACA weapons. They're not assault weapons. So
oh,
yeah, there's not a lot of assault weapons left in the book. It's a lot of those are flamers, which you don't care about because you can.
Yeah, they're flamers.
They're flamers. You don't roll to hit with those anyways, and the like zap gun or custom mega blasters and stuff are still assault. So it's weird. Then we have here we go. You get to reroll charges. Now you have to roll both of your dice. Almost everything has here we go, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Ramshackle, you get -1 damage for attacks of strength less than 8. So all the Orc vehicles have Ramshackle. So if you're shooting with a strength 6 or 7 or whatever, and it does 2 damage, it only does 1 damage.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but the more powerful weapons still do their max damage.
But it does keep a lot of Space Marine bolt guns. Well, yeah.
A lot of volume of fire stuff that does 2 damage has always kind of been the sweet spot because it's not strength 8, but you usually get a lot more shots with it.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of that in Tau and some Space Marines and stuff like that. So yeah, that's actually pretty nice. If someone's going to kill you with something, it better be a dedicated anti-tank weapon.
Yeah, definitely.
Not one of these hybrid weapons like an autocannon or whatever kind of, or Reaper autocannon or whatever. Then we have Mob Rule. As an Orc player, I'm going to say that Mob Rule is hot street trash now. It is so bad. Like, it's to the point where why do you even have this rule? Honestly, it's so stupid. I hate it. It will keep things positive. So when you're within 6 inches of another mob, it's not considered under half strength for morale purposes. So what that means is you still have to take morale checks for big mobs of Orcs. But if you get shot down to like 5 models, instead of rolling when you roll your combat attrition tests, you don't lose extra models on a 1 or a 2. Instead, you just lose them on a 1. But you have to be within range of another mob that isn't at half strength. But I'll tell you what, man, having to take a morale check. So say you have a mob of 30 boys, and you lose 5 boys, you're probably gonna fail that morale check, and you're gonna lose a bunch of models.
Yeah,
I don't like that. That annoys me.
That might get FAQ'd.
I don't know, dude. It seems like it's intentional. So So like if you have a mob of 26 boys and you lost 6, why would they fail a morale check?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. That doesn't make any sense to me, but it is what it is. Then the other army-wide rule is Beast Snagga. This is like an ability that obviously Beast Snaggas have. They get a +1 to hit monsters and vehicles, and they have a 6+ invuln save. So these guys are really good at going after big stuff to the point where I can see like people using. I love the thought of a giant mob of Beast Snagga boys dragging down an Imperial Knight in combat, just like with hooks, like they're throwing up hooks and pulling it down, and dragging it down and tearing it to pieces. I think that's a neat imagery.
Well, if you had like a looted knight, I mean, there's looted. Well, hold on, we'll probably talk about it more later. It'd be fun, like you had like a looted knight, and the hobby side of it was boys that were hanging off, or Beast Snagga boys hanging off the knight. Yeah,
that's cool. And the new unit, the new big unit for the Beast Snaggas is the kill rig and the hunter rig.
Yeah.
And they have a cool weapon that is like this rocket tied to a chain. And if you score a hit with it, it's possible that you could stop a unit from moving more than 12 inches away from you.
Oh.
Like it's not allowed to run away from you. It's pretty neat.
That is kind of cool. Especially considering one of the things I chose later for what we were looking through. That might, or one of the traits or something that I chose later.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, okay. For our picks. Yeah, so
for our picks.
Let's. Oh, also, so Wog and Speed Wog are new. They're kind of like the tides or the combat doctrines or whatever that orcs have. So a Wog can be called by a war boss. Orcs core and character units can advance and charge. I've been cheating. I've been letting pretty much everything charge on the first turn of a Wog. So when you call it, you're allowed to advance and charge. Also on the first turn, but also on the subsequent turn of the Wog, models get +1 attack. That's really good. That's really nice, especially since it applies to everything.
So that's shooting and fighting both. Okay.
No. Sorry, +1 attack characteristic, but every model gets it. So all your vehicles and stuff still get that.
That's even better.
Then in the Speed Wog, the speed bosses get to call those, and so the war boss on bike and the Def Killer War Trike count for this. On the first turn of a Speed Wog, orcs don't get a penalty for advancing and shooting assault weapons, which nobody cares because there aren't really any assault weapons left.
Right.
Also, bikers and vehicles get +1 attack with their Daka weapons, which that does matter because a lot of things have Daka weapons.
Right.
Bikers have a unholy number of shots with their Daka guns.
Really? Okay.
Oh my goodness. They are bonkers. Here, I'll tell you. I have the codex right here, and since you are...
I have my Speed Wog.
Your own Speed Wog.
Yeah.
I will say, War Bikers, they have a Daka gun.
Okay.
Sorry, they have 2 Daka guns each.
Of course, because...
Daka guns are Daka 5/3 at a range of 18 inches. So at a range of 9 inches, each war biker shoots 10 shots. So during a speed wad, they would be shooting 12 shots for each model. For each model, that's a lot of shots.
But that's orcs.
That's a lot of shots. Yeah, there's no AP on those guns, but who cares?
Yeah. Well, in the next line there.
Yes. On the first and second turn of the speed wad, bikers and vehicles improve the AP of their shooting weapons by 1.
So they go from no AP to 1 AP. So, yeah.
They do. And that's pretty great. And, of course, Gazgul Mag Uruk Thraka, when he calls a Wog, it's both a Wog and a speed Wog.
Of course.
Of course. Well, he's a lot of points.
Both. Why not both?
So that's the rules for the Codex in a nutshell. As usual, we're going to go through each of these groupings of rules and pick our favorite. And by pick our favorite, we're kind of create an army list as we do it, like an army build as we do it. Jason, what are you doing?
Death Skull Bikers. Well, bikers / Mad Max vehicles.
Mad Max Death Skull's army.
There we go.
Awesome. That sounds like fun. Now there is like a really popular army build that is this right now.
Oh, there
but
is?
We're not.
Okay.
We're not building a competitive army list here. We're building on theme.
Yeah.
I am picking Evil Sun's Truck Boys.
Ooh.
So we're kind of going in like a weird opposites, right? So normally you would think Evil Sons, those should be bikers and stuff. Well, no, not necessarily. But yes, also. Yes. It would also be good. So, Jason, why don't you tell us about the Death Skulls clan?
All right, so I picked up Death Skulls clan, and let me see. So their culture is the Lucky Blue Gits. And so each time a unit shoots or fights, you can re-roll 1 hit roll or 1 wound roll when resolving that unit's attacks. Which that's actually pretty good.
No, that's great. You do that with like the guy with the power claw or whatever.
Yeah, and it seems to go with every unit. So each time a model would lose a wound as a result of a mortal wound, roll a d6. On a 5 up, that wound is not lost. So it's the old feel no pain rule to go with our earlier jokes.
Right, but that's only for mortal wounds.
Yeah.
So, I've been using Death Skulls in my Weird Boy list. So whenever they take a Perils of the Warp or whatever, I'm actually hoping that these guys are really good for that list because they're gonna be resistant to psychic powers, but they're dealing out psychic powers, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. And then infantry with this culture gains objective secured, which
is really
we'll see if I have any infantry.
True. That's very true. Maybe scatter a few in there in trucks just for funsies, or commandos. That should be fun. Those commando models are hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I could go through and have Sister B maybe show up. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you have any? You have some Mega Knobs too, don't you?
I got Mega Knobs, yeah.
Yeah, some Mega Knobs, objective secured Mega Knobs. sitting in terrain with a 1-up save. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Put them in a truck.
At me.
Yeah, put them in a truck. They love it.
All right. Then the Warlord trait is Opportunist. So each time you select a target for this Warlord, if you select a character unit within 12 inches, you can ignore Lookout Sir. Which that could be, if you're getting stuck in, that could actually work pretty well. Yeah,
shooting somebody with your Def Kill War Strike, just acing out like a apothecary or something would be really good.
And let's see. Oh, each time an enemy vehicle is destroyed within 6 inches of the Warlord, you gain 1 command point. Which that could be good if you actually
remember to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it always comes down to that. Let's see. Stratagem, we've got Rekkas. So 2 CP. I'm trying to figure out what I think about this one. I'll listen and see what you have to say.
I've used it before. It's
okay.
Hard. It's tough to remember to do, and it's expensive, but it's pretty good.
Okay, that's kind of what it's 2 CP, which automatically makes me kind of balk. But use a stratagem at the start of your shooting or fight phase. Select 1 Death Skull's core or character unit from your army. Until the end of that phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack that targets a vehicle, add 1 to the attack's wound roll. So that could be good. Just got to remember it and realize, hey, it's 2 CP.
Yeah.
Although, if your Warlord's nearby, and you remember, each time an enemy vehicle is destroyed within 6 inches of the Warlord, you gain a command point. So you might be able to offset that a little bit.
And I'm imagining like just this giant unit of 9 bikers with their Daka guns, each one with 10 shots. So was it 90 shots? No, it's 12 shots. If you're in your WOG, right? If you're in your WOG,
108 shots.
108 shots. But 5s to wound an Imperial Knight. Oh wait, we're gonna pop this. 4s to wound an Imperial Knight at AP -1.
Wow.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad. Yeah, it would be really funny. I
It
mean,
would be very funny.
Yeah.
Getting shot to death by orc bullets. Yes.
yeah, that's really fun.
It's a delightful idea.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Relic. Defixer uppers. Death Skull's mech or Big Mech model only. Each time the bear uses their... Man, I hate having to spell this because my spell check goes crazy. It's Mechaniac?
Yeah, I think so.
Mechaniac, or Big Mechaniac ability. Roll 1d6. On a 2-up, the selected vehicle gains 1 additional wound, and you can select one enemy unit within 12 inches of the bearer. That enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. I like that. It's like basically like slapping something on your vehicle. You're throwing the part away, and you injure someone else as the part gets thrown away. That's the visual I have.
I'm a little upset about this because it used to give the Mechaniac ability to the model that you gave it to. So you could turn war bosses into mech bosses. That made me happy.
Oh,
I liked having that option. I don't like... So now you can't use a Big Mech. You can't really have a Big Mech as a warlord without losing the WOG ability.
Yeah, I don't think I like that either.
That annoys the hell out of me. But this is a cool ability. I hate that you can't like make a war boss into a like mech boss.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Make do. For example, in my Crusade Force, the Weird Boy is the Warlord, and I just don't get WOG. That it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I am picking Evil Sons as the culture to use for my, fantasy army in this preview or in this rundown. So the culture is red ones go faster, plus 1 inch move, or plus 2 inches for speed freaks, plus 1 inch to advance rolls. And they do not incur a -1 to hit for advancing and shooting assault weapons, which, again, nobody cares because there's no assault weapons. They no longer get a bonus for charging. So that's a huge change for orcs. And not a lot of people used to take Evil Sons a lot just because of the +1 to charge. They don't do it anymore. Warlord trait is faster than use. I love this Warlord trait. In your command phase, you pick a unit within 6 inches of the Warlord, and it can charge even if it fell back or advanced.
Oh, yeah.
It's really cool. I like that. It lets units kind of either hit and run through or advance, and it's really good in the first turn and in the second turn. I like it a lot. You don't have to call a WOG in order to get the advance and charge, basically. Their stratagem is called Drive-By Daka. I like this one a lot too. It's only 1 CP, and a Speed Freaks unit can move after shooting in the shooting phase.
Okay.
That is really, really cool. So you can get up close and personal with a unit of bikers,
get out,
and then hit and fade out. Yeah, it's basically a move, shoot, move. It's really cool. I like
that
it
is
a lot.
Yeah. That'll keep those guys alive a bit longer.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
Or pop them onto an objective or something.
Yeah.
The relic for the Evil Sons is Res Mecha's Redder Paint. Now, you would think that you would have to put this on a vehicle unit. You don't have to. You can actually put this on a regular war boss if you want. They get plus 2 inches of move, and all enemy units within engagement range fight last. So that's because it's so shiny.
Right.
This is actually a really cool relic. Like this is like a hidden gem, I think, in here.
Yeah.
Obviously, a Def Killer War Trike has a bigger base and is going to be, benefit from this pretty well. But I am thinking a Evil Sons War Boss with Mega Armor.
Okay.
With this relic and paint it super bright cherry red. I think that's a really interesting build for this. Normally, a War Boss in Mega Armor has a 5-inch movement. So he's actually not much. He's not really slower than the regular war boss. So he gets +1 inch for being evil sons, and then +2 inches for this red paint.
Yeah.
To make him a big mech in mega, or a war boss in mega armor with 8 inches of movement, and always and everything around him fights last all the time. That's awesome. I love that guy. He rules.
It would be hard to take him down.
It would. Now there is another relic that I talk about later. That's I'm not sure if it's worse, or I'm not sure if it's better or worse, but I guess you be the judge. Okay, so those are the cultures that we went with. I think all the cultures are a lot of fun. I don't see personally. I guess the Bad Moons, I guess, is really good, and the no, not Bad Moons. The what's the one? See, I'm so bad at like match play now. Freebooters. I guess the Freebooters is really good. I don't care. That one's all about shooting. It works in combat, but its main thing is shooting. So there's also a new thing called specialist. Well, not a new thing. They've rolled the specialist mobs into the main rule book. Jason, which one did you pick for your army?
So I chose the Mad Boys. So this is for biker cavalry.
I forgot to mention, like, you get 1 per detachment, and it's a free upgrade, but you lose your clan keyword, which can be a bummer. Anyways, go ahead.
All right, so Mad Boys, biker cavalry character or mob units only. The selected unit gains the Mad Boys keyword in the following ability. So at the start of each of your battle rounds, roll 1d3 and consult the table below to determine what ability the Mad Boys unit has until the end of this battle round. So first up, you have Rash, which is each time a Mad Boys unit makes a pylon move, it can move up to 6 inches instead of 3, which, could help bring more boys to the table, quote unquote. Inspired, each time Mad Boys unit is selected to shoot or fight, you can reroll 1 hit roll or 1 wound roll when resolving that unit's attacks, which are already pretty similar to Death Skulls anyway. And then Frenzied, each time a Mad Boy model makes a melee attack, add 1 to the strength characteristic of that attack. So yeah, not too bad.
It's pretty fun. You just get this random roll every round. They're just crazy. Maybe they're hanging out with a weird boy. Like Mad Boys used to hang out with weird boys. Yeah. So they're fun. I picked Truck Boys, which makes sense for the theme I'm going here.
Yeah.
You can do this on boys, knobs, or war bosses. And what it does is it lets you disembark from a truck even if it's moved. So that doesn't stop you from moving or charging. After you do that, it's kind of like this like slingshot across the battlefield. Rah! And it's a good thing you can only take 1 of those per detachment. Also, the truck gets a +1 to hit if there's units in the truck, which don't quote me on this one. I think the way that works out is if you have if your transport has modifiers, the units inside have modifiers. So I guess the guys inside would also get the +1 to hit. I don't know. I'm a little confused about how that works, but really it's all about moving, disembarking, and assaulting. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Well, that's what Orks do.
Well, it's kind of a harken back to kind of the way that Orks worked in 5th edition.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, custom jobs. So with custom jobs, you can have 1 custom job per unit, and I believe you can only have the same custom job once. And in Crusade, you don't start with these. You have to add them later.
Oh, okay.
Through gameplay.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Yeah.
A unit of vehicles can't get a custom job. You can only do it with like 1 model, like a single model units. Which one did you pick for your army?
I picked up Gyroscopic Whirligig, not just because I like the name. I like the name, but so this is for Shock Jump Dragster model only. Any mortal wounds suffered by this model as a result of its shock tunnel ability are ignored. I've got 3 shock jump dragstas, so yeah, I probably should have something like this to add to at least one of them.
I am not seeing anything here saying you can only have the same custom job once. So maybe you can just have the same custom job a bunch of times.
That'd be nice. That keeps
Correct
some
me
things
if I'm
alive.
wrong, listeners, because I'm not seeing it. I think maybe it used to be that, or I just never realized. Okay. I picked squig hide tires. I figured that makes a lot of sense for the theme I'm going for. They get the vehicle you can actually get this on everything except for walkers and aircraft. Walkers have their own special one. Okay, I'll just say it. Walkers like Death Dreads, Gorkanauts, and Morkanauts can have Stompy-matic pistons that give them +3 inches to their movement.
Stompy-matic.
+1 to advance. Yeah. In this one, the vehicle gets +1 inch movement. And every time it advances, add an additional 2 inches to their move characteristic. So they get +3 inches movement when they advance, which is really nice. These guys are that's super fun. There's the custom jobs are cool. They increase your power rating and points, by the way. So just keep that in mind when you're building your lists, or if you're adding them later on. I have found that with orcs, a lot of as you advance, your stuff gets a lot more expensive. So keep that in mind as the dogs are murdered in Jason's yard. So next we have mech custom jobs, which is similar. It's 1 per mech character. You add these to big mechs, stuff like that.
So yeah, I can't wait to move. Imagine that happening at 3 a.m. Often. It's lovely.
Fun.
All right, so I chose Zap Krumpas because I liked all the Z's.
Yeah, well, that's a good theme.
Yeah, so a unit that contains a spanner model only. Each time melee attack is made by a model in this unit, an unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage. I thought that'd be kind of a fun one to put in there.
That is fun, and I think I've had that on something before, just for funsies.
Yeah,
and that's really cool. I like the idea of just like being all electrocuted. Shockahol also on the vehicles is similar.
yeah.
I picked Bionic Oiler. I figured any mech in my army would have this. The mech surgically enhances their assistant, and they're able to be used. The Grot Oiler is able to be used twice per battle instead of once. It is a little expensive for +1 healing, but yeah, maybe in a clinch moment it'll matter. Okay. So going through these stratagems, the orcs, there's quite a few. The same ones as a lot of the same ones as before. We've picked literally the best stratagems in the book. Go ahead, Jason.
Yours makes me laugh every time I see the name of it.
Which one? You picked literally the best one in the book.
All right, I picked Ramming Speed.
Ramming Speed! Damn the torpedoes!
That's right. So use the stratagem in your chart. Well, hold on. Orc drivers are infamous for using their vehicles as huge blunt instruments with which to clobber the foe. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, we're here for that.
Use the stratagem in your charge phase. When an Orc's vehicle unit from your army is selected to charge, until the end of that phase, when making a charge roll for that unit, roll 3d6 instead.
Yeah, and it's not 3d6, keep the 2 highest. It's 3d6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
your battle wagon is getting there.
Don't worry. Just hang out. We'll be there in a second. Until the end of the phase, when that unit finishes a charge move, select one enemy unit that is within engagement range of it and roll 1d6. On a 2-up, that enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds.
It's pretty great, right?
Oh, that's beautiful. It reminds me, what was that rule in 7th edition? Where if you charge like bikes or vehicles into a group, they...
Oh, tank shock?
I
think so.
Was it Tank Shock?
Anyways, this is an
Yeah.
amazing stratagem. I use it all the time, and you can
Oh,
actually
yeah.
use it with like Death Dreads too. Like if you have a unit of if you have Death Dreads, you can charge in. But really, you want to use it with a battle wagon.
Yeah.
Or so I have this imagination thing going on. I have this thing in my mind where one day I will have my full unit of 3 Megatrack Scrapjets.
Uh-huh.
When they charge, and I will give them. Oh, I can't do that. Oh man! So you don't do it with the. So I was thinking maybe use it with the custom job, but you can only do it for units of 1. So you don't do that. But you charge in with the Megatrack Scrapjet. They have a spiked ram. So after it makes a charge move, you can select one enemy unit within 1 inch and roll a d6 for each model this unit contains. And on a 4+, it inflicts D3 mortal wounds. So the unit of 3 Megatrack Scrapjets has a 4+ chances to do D3 mortal wounds. And then if you use this stratagem, it has another 2+ chance of doing another D3 mortal wounds. It's pretty great.
Yeah. Yep. That is pretty great.
That's a lot of mortal wounds. You're just charging in doing a bunch of mortal wounds. This brings warms the cockles of my heart. Now, in case something real bad happens and your vehicle is destroyed as it's charging in, you can careen for 1 or 2 CP. When an Ork's vehicle explodes, and as long as it's not within engagement range of an enemy model, you can move up to 6 inches before resolving that explosion. If it's a wagon or Titanic, it costs 2. Otherwise, it costs 1. I can't wait to do this with a Stompa.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It feels so good if my opponent is very excited about killing my model, and all of a sudden, all their entire command structure dies in the explosion. These are literally the 2 best stratagems, FYI. No other stratagem matters. I don't care what you say.
With those numbers, you don't need any others because you won't have any command points. So, yay.
That's true. You won't have any. I should mention that Mordaka changed. So, Mordaka now lets you treat your unit as being within for maximum dice for shooting with their Daka weapons. So I'm trying to find it for you because it'll matter for your army. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 CP. You use the max profile for the shooting instead. So you can if you leave your bikes at 18 inches, they can shoot at max.
108.
Oh
man,
yeah, it's pretty good.
That's a lot of shots. That's a lot of shots. Wow.
Yeah. So let's look at these generic Warlord traits.
Mm-hmm.
Which one did you pick?
I picked one from Speed Freaks. I mean, it's not exactly generic, but I thought it worked better.
Non-clan based ones.
Okay.
And I was hoping you would pick a Speed Freaks one.
Yeah, I took Roadkiller. Yeah, I did take that one. Yes. After this Warlord makes a charge move, you can select one enemy unit within 1 inch of it and roll 1d6. On a 2-up, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds.
Now, keep in mind that there's nothing stopping you from using ramming speed with this model.
Yeah.
So you can have 2 chances to do on a 2+ to do D3 mortal wounds when you charge. It's pretty great.
And then kill what you need to, what you're attacking, then be stuck out in the middle for shooting. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Then
what'd you take?
I took Follow Me Lads.
Uh-huh.
So I think this would be good for like a war boss that's jumping out of a truck along with all of his boys. If he makes it into combat with something, any other clan orcs that would declare a charge against the unit that he's within an engagement range with, add 1 to their charge rolls. So that makes it easier for him to be supported, for them to be supported by their army.
Okay.
All right, let's look at the relics. Which relic did you pick?
So I picked this one because it made me laugh. Beast-Hide Mantle.
Yes.
So the Beast-Hide Mantle, this is the filler to the whatever text. The Beast-Hide Mantle consists of so many thick furs, reptilian hides, jutting swig tusks, and other sort of trophies of glorious kills. It's sometimes hard to spot even the most hulking orc wearing it beneath it all. And I saw it and I thought, you know what? For my war boss on bike, I sculpted this long blonde hair. Huh?
It's Beast Snaga only.
Oh, well, I know, but it's a good joke. I'm running with it.
Okay, run with it. Sorry, I didn't mean. I should have yes and. Go ahead.
What I was thinking of was how I have that. I sculpted the long flowing blonde squig hair. That this could be the mantle. His mantle of power is this very false, blonde hair. Anyway, this is for Beast Naga only, which we did mention. Add one to the bearer's attack characteristic, and each time the bearer would lose a wound, roll 1d6 on a 5-up. That wound is not lost. So on my war boss, I will have I will find some way to make the squig hair be something important because I love it. Dumb and ridiculous, and that
makes me happy.
Yeah, there you go. What'd you take?
Picked Crushing Armor. So this armor is hilarious. Mega armor only. So the bear gets a 4+ invulnerable save, which is nice. Orcs war bosses usually have a 5+. They also get +1 to their saving throws. So Mega armor, you already have a 2+ armor save. So they get a +1 to that. And if he's standing in terrain, he has another plus. So he's got like a 0+. You can have a 0+ save, which is nice.
It's just knocking down AP at that point.
Yeah, you're just at that point the invulnerable save becomes in a missile. And after they make a charge move, you select an enemy unit within 1 inch, and on a 2+, they suffer D3 mortal wounds.
Nice.
Pretty nice. Lots of mortal wounds on the charge, which is nice to see.
Well, that should be how it is with orcs.
Oh yeah, no, I used the Crushing Armor in my in the tournament, but I put it on a big mech with Mega Armor. If I'd put that on a war boss, it would have been way cooler. So I'm not sure if that. I mean, it's super nice and shiny. I like it a lot, but I think if I'm going with my theme here, I think I like the redder armor better. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
So let's look at the power. So there's 2 disciplines. One is for weird boys. One is for whir boys. Weird boys are the regular orc weird boys. The whir boy are the Beast Snaga weird boys.
Yeah.
The Beast Snaga, the whir boy, he has a shooting attack instead of a melee attack, and the weird boy has a melee attack instead of a shooting attack, basically.
Okay.
But the powers are somewhat different. So the weird boy powers are very orky. The whir boy powers, the beast head discipline, are like squig based, like very feral powers.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So which power of the wad power did you pick?
I picked the jump. So it's a blessing. The jump has a warp charge value of 7. If manifested, select one friendly clan core unit that's within 12 inches of the psyker. Remove that unit from the battlefield and set them up anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 inches from any enemy models. Nice. Which that's been around before, right?
Yeah, it's been around before. It's great. It's a great utility power, and it's good for your army because if there are foot sloggers in the army, you can say, "Hey, get up there with the bikers."
That's right. Get there. Yeah.
Include. Do Gretchen count as core? I think they do. So you can say, "Hey, get in the way of the shooting."
So you would be doing that to scare Phil. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a power move. Then I picked Warpath. If the if the truck boys are going to have any power, it's going to be Warpath. +1 to the attacks characteristic of the clan core unit or clan character unit that you target. So I'm imagining a unit of mega knobs or knobs jumping out with +1 attack, or even boys, really. I think that would be a lot of fun. There's a lot of that in here. The ranged, like the Witchfire powers aren't as good, aren't as powerful in Power of the Wa. It's the buffs and stuff and the debuffs that are really good. There's one called Jabbin' Fingers that gives a -1 to hit for the unit that they target. That's pretty awesome. All right, Beasthead Discipline. What'd you pick, Jason?
I chose one just because it made me laugh. I don't know if this would even be remotely decent in game. The Roar of Morg, just because it sounds hilarious. The war boy opens his gob impressively wide and gives vent to a bellowing roar that reverberates through his enemies' minds. Coherent thought becomes nigh impossible, and as the roar thunders on, panic begins to spread. I don't know, that just seems fun. All right, so that's Malediction. Has a warp charge of 6, and if manifested, select one enemy unit within 18 inches invisible to the Psyker. Until the start of your next psychic phase, subtract 2 from advance and charge rolls made for that unit.
That is not bad.
That's not bad.
-2 to charge?
Yeah. And then...
That's not bad at all.
Until the start of your next psychic phase, while an enemy unit is within 18 inches of the Psyker, subtract 1 from the leadership characteristics of models in that unit.
Fun story. That this power killed 3 Necron warriors in my last game with Zane.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. Yeah,
oh, wow.
Actually, like, normally Necron warriors don't really have to worry about leadership, but just by casting this on him, he failed that and lost 3 models, and you don't get those back in the Will Be Back rolls. So yeah, it actually mattered, and it was pretty cool. It actually worked pretty well.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I picked Squiggly Curse. This power is probably the best. I don't know about, like, we'll have to do an episode on the Thousand Suns after we play a few games. That's why that's one of the reasons I'd love to get a Crusade game in with you, Jason, because we should look at some of these powers. Yeah. It's going to be a long game. Like, we're going to be playing for 6 hours, I'm sure. But Squiggly Curse, I can't imagine. I haven't seen a power this good. Like, as far as, like, AoE, like, killing multiple models type situation.
Whoa. Okay, sorry. I was reading the text for it.
The Warboy cackles madly as he transforms the foe into a herd of squigs. The now terrified and confused beasts rampaging through their former comrades before bounding away. It's a relatively high warp charge. It's a 7.
Yeah.
You could give a character that's casting this the weird boy relic, which for some reason escapes me now. But sorry, buddy. Oh, that's on this page. It's called Scorched Git Bones, which gives you a +1 to cast Witchfires.
Yeah.
But it's a 7. So I always save my reroll for this because it's really good.
Yeah.
If manifested, select one enemy unit within 12 inches of the Psyker, so it's a close range spell. You roll a d6 for each model in the unit to a maximum of 6 dice for each. So I've been cheating. I missed that part.
Oh, okay. Oh, you've been rolling more than that. Okay.
I've been rolling for every. So Zane and Kendrick, I'm sorry.
But not real sorry.
I'm somewhat sorry. For each result of I should read the power. So, honestly, like, if I see a parenthesis, I shouldn't be like, screw you, parenthesis.
Maybe in Crusade games, I think I might actually pull the max on there.
For each result of a 4+, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. If any models in that unit are destroyed by this psychic power, every other enemy unit within 6 inches of that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. So,
that could destroy a.
It's super cute.
That could destroy a guard mob.
Yeah, but still, maximum of 6 dice. Never mind. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still. I mean, I still take it. Still
Yeah.
good. Still great. I love 4+ is really good. But not as good as like rolling 20 dice, obviously.
No.
So, anyways,
Oopsies.
it's fine. It's fine. That's why we do these things. It's so I can learn
Yeah.
the rules, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So we actually read them instead of just glance past the parentheses. It's cool. Anyways, that's fun. I love the psychic powers. I can't wait to try it out some more. I think it's going to be a fun army. So next, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to keep going with these themes, and we're going to go through the Crusade rules for the armies. First, we're going to take a quick break so I can go potty and hug the baby, I guess.
Okay.
Come here, boy. Get the ball. Aw, come on, Max. Get the ball. Mom, Max won't get the ball. He's lazy.
I think I know why your Zote is being lazy, Jenny.
Why, Mom?
Because you forgot to feed him Zotabix today.
Oh, no.
Oh yes, Zotabix contains all the nutrients and random animal parts a growing Zote craves. It not only provides our Zote with the energy it needs to play with you and protect our home, but it also keeps its chitinous shell fresh and shiny.
Oh, boy. I'd better feed Max his Zotabix.
Yes, you had.
Zotabix is made in part from grade
Max,
A
time for
Astra
dinner.
Militarum post-engagement byproduct and is infused with 112 essential vitamins
No,
and
Max,
minerals
down.
harvested from your Zote's natural habitat, the finest desert depths.
Ah!
Zotabix is available in any shopping center on worlds where Zotes are allowed or where the Imperium's inexorable influence has not yet reached.
Hello, everyone. The Masters of the Forge is now a proud member of the NPC, the Narrative Podcast Consortium. Our aim is to inspire your hobby through the rich lore of the 41st millennium. If you enjoy our podcast, then make sure to check out these other awesome shows, where you can get coverage on campaigns, Black Library, and all kinds of general topics of the 40k background.
The NGC 40K podcast also provides in-depth campaign coverage, audio dramas, and free-flowing narrative campaign creation.
The Adeptus Terra podcast also features in-depth discussions of the lore and commentary on the hobby.
Oh, and sexy English voices.
Oh yeah.
The Masters of the Forge brings the world of 40k to life on your tabletop, with discussion on the lore, backed up by narrative-themed rules and battle reports.
Of course, this is only a fraction of the topics covered by the podcasts of the NPC. Please tune in to find out more.
Welcome back. So, we're here really to talk about Crusade Rules.
Yay!
And like I said, I've had 3 games of Crusade with Orks so far. I know it has, compared to a lot of people, that's not a lot. But
Yeah.
hey, I have a mouthpiece, so screw you guys.
Oh, man. Okay, that was funny. Good.
I'm
good.
really glad to finally have gotten some games in because I am tired of not having games.
Yeah.
So very happy. So Orc Crusade Rules, I would say they are fun, but not as cool or as I don't know. I think that like the Sisters of Battle ones are really awesome, and the Drukhari ones are really awesome.
Yeah.
The Orc ones are kind of by comparison.
Well, I was listening.
Go ahead.
Well, I was listening to Brian's podcast, Lost the Nails, and they talked about their newest episode. They talked about specifically in the Sisters of Battle how there are. It's not that they're better written; they're just more detailed. And I remember, when we went over it, I remember all this extra stuff that you could do with the what was it? The person who could be an acolyte, or who could be a saint. That there was just so much more for that. But it was a lot of bookkeeping, and I don't know. I think it would be
Yeah.
nice here to make your own war boss. It just keeps ascending and ascending and ascending. But
Yeah, and I think what one of those guys said, or what they said collectively, is that someone who's playing Sisters of Battle might be the type of person who's interested in that kind of bookkeeping, where someone who's playing Death Guard is more interested in, slogging. And maybe somebody who plays Orks regularly would not really be interested in a huge amount of bookkeeping. So I can see why, for me, I feel like the Sisters stuff is more imaginative, but at the same time, maybe someone who plays Orks really isn't interested in all that nonsense. So I get that.
I need to go over the Thousand Suns stuff to see, that as well, because like I have a thing I would want to do with my Crusade force, and I'm trying to figure out if that's where it's pushed towards. So we do need to do that episode. I just need to get some time together.
So yeah, maybe again, it would be super nice to schedule a game and maybe do a Altar of War episode together, and we'll try to get that out, and that'll be a good way for you to practice those rules.
Yeah, and I'm taking my codex with me on my vacation.
Well, maybe you should see if you can get somebody to drive you so you can read it on your way there instead of driving 40 hours yourself. Just take an Uber. Take an Uber take a 40-hour Uber.
So I'm going to Uber from South Texas to Southwest Oklahoma. Yeah, let's see what happens. I will say though, sometimes when I'm driving that way, I drive through Albany, Texas.
Oh, Albany, Texas, nice.
Albany, Texas. I think there might be more people listening to this podcast. Actually, I know there are more people listening to this podcast than are in the town of Albany. So
just as long as it's Albany, Texas, and not because if you go to a different Albany, you went in completely the wrong direction. And I think there's an Albany, Alabama or something. Albany, Georgia.
There's one in Georgia. There's definitely one in Georgia. Yeah.
Okay. So your army has a WA boss.
Yes.
So you say who's that person? That orc is your WA boss. It can't be a named character, which makes sense. It's all about you creating your own character for your own narrative. If they are not a vehicle, they get +1 strength or wounds every time they gain a rank. Which is really interesting. And up to you can only increase each one twice. So if you have like a war boss, he's going to be like strength 8 or something plus power claw, which makes it strength 16 or something. It's ridiculous. It's a lot. Like he becomes really strong and he has a lot of wounds. They have a lot of wounds. So, but the big weird thing about that is they actually, instead of increasing your crusade points, they actually increase their power rating.
Ooh.
Which is kind of rough because my weird boy just went to 5 power, which means that totally messes up the list I was playing. Exactly 50 power level. So I'm going to be getting some I'm going to be spending some requisition points to be a little more diverse in my army. It doesn't help that my army has a kill rig and a battle wagon in it. That's a little weird. So I'm going to say that like my story is that they were riding into the area or riding through the area with those vehicles, but now they're boosted out and they're starting to kind of sneak around. So I'm going to add more infantry. I'm going to add more infantry and some cavalry to that army. So if a character's XP exceed any character in your army, if their XP exceeds the WA boss's XP, you have to make them fight.
Oh, so that's what they were talking about. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a little mini game where they fight each other. So, and if a character is a Death Killer War Trike, Kill Rig, or Beast Boss on Squigosaur, and it doesn't mention the War Boss on Bike because it's a Forge World character, but honestly, if you're playing in a Crusade League and you have a War Boss on Bike, you should also take them off the bike for this.
Okay, so create your own war boss.
Yeah, create your own war boss, yeah.
Okay.
So you make them fight. During the fight, you first run through the psychic phase, and then you run through the shooting phase, and then a combat phase. So that first combat phase, they count as having charged each other.
Yeah.
And the war boss, the WA boss always gets to go first. Okay. After that, you perform ongoing combats until someone's defeated. If the WA boss wins, the challenger gets a battle scar. If the challenger wins, they get D3 experience and they gain the WA boss ability. And the former WA boss loses their WA boss abilities.
Okay.
So it's a cute thing. I think it's cute. It's not. I mean, it makes sense, but boy, it takes up a whole page of the codex.
Yeah.
For this mechanic, it makes sense. It's really cool, but it's not. It doesn't. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's a lot of. It's a big risk for something that makes you increase your power level. So the benefit, the benefit isn't that great, but the negatives are pretty a lot for a not great ability. But again, it's very thematic and
Orks,
it's fun, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Another new mechanic is the scrap mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
You get after the game, you get 1 scrap point for each enemy vehicle that was destroyed but did not explode. There's an agenda that gives you additional scrap during the game, which is nice. So you spend this scrap on mech jobs, which have a scrap point cost listed. You also can spend scrap to get a custom job, for your vehicles, which is 3 scrap points to add the custom job. And both of those things have a power rating increase to go with them, so there's no reason to make it a huge scrap point cost like expenditure. You can also spend 3 scrap points to remove a battle scar from a vehicle's Crusade card, which I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think that would.
I like any any ability in Crusade that lets you remove battle scars is good in my opinion.
I think that the patch up would probably be the one I would use the most.
Yeah, that's really I'm gonna have 3 scrap points just saved up for that purpose alone, at all times.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Those are the 2 new mechanics for Orks. Having an extra wound and an extra strength on your character is pretty nice. It's not the worst. It's just not as imaginative, like I said, as the way they're doing the sainthood and everything like that. So Jason, let's go through the Crusade ability or these Crusade picks.
All right,
what did you pick for your Death Skulls speed mob agenda?
All right, so I took the agenda Cunning Stunts. Yeah, I laughed when I saw that too. This is more of a speed. Well, it's a Speed Freaks agenda, so I'd have to kind of think of how I'm setting up, my list. Keep a stunts tally for each Speed Freak unit from your army. If you select this agenda, then these units from your army can attempt the following action, which a Cunning Stunts action. At the end of your movement phase, select 1 eligible Orc Speed Freak unit from your army that advanced this turn and ended its move more than 6 inches from where it started. The action is complete at the end of your shooting phase. Once completed, add 1 to the selected unit's stunts tally. So at the end of the battle, each unit gains 2 experience points for each mark on its stunts tally, which that's kind of showing off and being kind of goofy, I think. And I think that works really well for bikers and whatnot, even though I would have Death Skulls as my clan or my culture.
I love this agenda so much.
It's fun, right?
You basically, instead of shooting, you perform an awesome stunt. And if you don't actually perform the stunt with your model as you do it, then what the hell's wrong with you?
Right. Exactly. If you're not doing that,
if you don't spin the model around and jump over stuff and make vroom vroom noises, what the hell's your problem?
Well, what are you doing playing Orcs? You're probably doing that already without having to go through that agenda.
Yeah.
So,
So you still get to charge.
Yeah.
It's the first action I've seen personally that actually has that the action is completed at the end of the shooting phase, which is really interesting. I picked Mega Wah as mine. Not a lot of them were very specific to my very weird army choice.
Yeah.
Keep a Wah tally for each non-Gretchen orc within your army. While in stage 1, when Wah or Speed Wah is in effect, each time an Orcs unit from your army destroys an enemy unit, add 3 to their Wah tally. And while in stage 2, each time an Orc unit from your army destroys an enemy unit, add 1 to the Wah tally. And they get 1 XP for every 2 marks on the Wah tally. So they basically just get XP for killing stuff during the Wah. So they're like pumped up, they kill stuff during the Wah. So it really is encouraging you to get up in there and get stuck in during the Wah, which is fine because everything in this theoretical army would be in a truck or a battle wagon. All right, let's do requisitions. What requisition did you pick?
Well, I picked Specialist Mob, but I really liked the one that you picked quite a bit. But
yeah,
that one seems. I think yours might be the superior one of this group.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah.
All right, so Specialist Mob, purchase this requisition when an Orcs unit from your Crusade force gains the battle-hardened, heroic, or legendary rank. You can select one of the Specialist Mob upgrades that unit is eligible for and upgrade it.
Well, I'm glad you picked this because it's important to note that you can't get a Specialist Mob any other way.
Yeah.
So you can't just get it. You have to use this requisition in order to get them.
Yeah.
Just an FYI. So it's good to mention. So I picked I picked the use fight for me now requisition. This is so great. If you fight another orc player and you win, you get to steal some of the other war boss's warriors. Now, you don't actually like remove them from your opponent's roster. I think that would be something you could do between yourselves, but you're not required to do that. So your warlord gets 5 experience points, and they can immediately purchase the Fresh Recruits requisition for 0 RP. So you basically steal your opponent's dudes. I love it. There's also a way to get extra scrap and stuff like that with the requisitions. Next is battle traits. Which battle trait did you pick? And I'm glad you picked this one.
I picked up a opportunistic. So each time an enemy vehicle unit is destroyed by a melee attack made by a model in this unit, you gain 1 additional scrap point. So yeah,
which makes sense for Death Skulls. Like if they're in combat, they like steal all the choice bits.
Yeah,
I love this one. It's called Recycler.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I love any relic that lets you mess with stuff in the game. Or sorry, not relic. Any ability that lets you mess with Crusade stuff during the game. So it's like you put this on a pain boy, and he goes around after the battle looking for spare parts to use as transplants. So if he's part of your army and hasn't been taken out of action during the battle, then at the end of the battle, you can ignore 1 failed out of action test taken for a clan unit, excluding vehicles, and that test is treated as having been passed. How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. There's the same trait for Big Mechs as well. If you wanna give that trait to a mech or a Big Mech, you could do that for vehicles. All right. Last, but maybe also least. No, definitely not least. Is the Crusade Relics.
Yeah, that one. I picked one, although there's 2 of them I actually liked quite a bit. So the first one I picked up was the souped up Shaka. Model the shock attack gun only. The souped up Shaka replaces that model's shotgun attack and has a better profile. Basically, it looks like it's
heavy 2d3, AP -5, damage d6. It's really good.
That's pretty nice.
this used to be like a special relic that you could take in matched play too, but now it can only be taken in Crusade, which is fine. It's pretty good.
It looks a little strong. The other one I liked, because I noticed you didn't pick one. I thought you might want to pick Boss Pole.
Oh yeah, I am picking Boss Pole.
Okay,
so
good.
This is fun. Space Marine helmets are the favored trophy of many an orc, displaying them proudly above their person on poles or on trophy racks for all to see. Not only do they proclaim that this orc has bested one of the finest warriors in the Imperium has to offer, but they also come in a variety of snazzy colors to collect.
I love that. I love that clause of that sentence. Yeah.
Now, this relic is just the worst. I don't care. So first, when you first take it, so I'm actually thinking I'm going to take this with my Warboy, because my Warboy has the Beast Hide Mantle already, which is covered in trophies and stuff.
Yeah.
And the model I have for it is covered in trophies and has a bunch of trophy racks, including like Necron bits and Space Marine helmets and stuff. So it gives you +1 leadership, which is just terrible in this day and age, because leadership on characters does literally nothing in this edition. And then each time the bearer destroys an Adeptus Astartes unit, you can make note of that unit's chapter keyword. Once the bearer has destroyed enemy units with 3 different chapter keywords, the model has the following ability. Element Rack, Aura. While friendly clan unit is within 12 inches of this model, each time a combat attrition test is taken for that unit, ignore any or all modifiers. That would actually be pretty good. I would like that. I would have to kill 3 different chapters, but that's fine.
That's doable.
I just have to play different people, which you should be doing. You should be playing all kinds of people.
One game against that one unit of Mike's and nail it right there.
Right. Yeah, that's fun. I think the Boss Pole is cute. I will definitely be taking it, even though it is hot street trash.
Yeah. It's not great.
All right. So we also have some new rules in the Warzone Octarius book.
Yeah.
For orcs. Specifically, we want to talk about the Crusade rules, which lets you mess with. So it brings back looted wagons, looted vehicles. So it's a mech job, right? So you can loot the vehicle for 6 scrap points. And that is for the looted wagon. And then the heavy wagon is 8 scrap points. And the battle fortress is 16 scrap points. And then there are some upgrades for the model. War gear options that are additional scrap points. And then the power rating of the vehicle is equal to the amount of scrap points you spent on it. So, for example, the looted wagon, if you add 2 scorches, that's 1 scrap point each.
Yeah.
So that would cost you...
Good, I found my book.
I guess it's 1 scrap point to equip it with 2, so it would only cost you 7 power.
Oh, okay.
I think it's very confusing. Anyways, you would spend scrap points on that. You can also equip it with 6 shooters, which I think is meant to be. So all of the looted vehicles actually correlate to an Astra Militarum vehicle.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so in this case, it would be a Chimera. So that's why it's like equip up to 6 shooters instead of las guns. It would be shooters.
Got it. Okay.
And then a big shooter or a Scorcha. So normally the main gun is either a heavy bolter or a heavy flamer. No option for a zap gun, which maybe the multi-laser. But the looted heavy wagon, it correlates to a Leman Russ battle tank. So it has a big shooter normally, and you can also have a kill cannon, lava, or zap gun. And it can have a bunch of other weapons bolted to it. But the battle fortress represents like a
Bane blade, right?
Bane blade or a shadow sword. Yeah, it's got 26 wounds. It's covered in, it's festooned with weapons.
Yeah.
And all of them have a custom red button. Once per battle at the start of your command phase, you can select for the driver to hit the inviting and mysterious red button mounted on its dashboard. When you do, roll a d6 and consult the table below. They all have a different one result, so I'm going to read them. For the looted wagon, it's got a snack dispenser. A hidden compartment delivers the driver a tasty grilled squig. No effect, except for pleasure.
Yeah, no kidding.
For the Evie wagon, it's shouty speakers. A hidden sound system starts blasting discordant music for the crew. No effect.
I like that music's in quotation marks.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm currently reading The Wolf Time by Gav Thorpe, which is one of the third book in the Indomitus series.
Right.
And it's Orks versus Space Wolves, and it's just the best. Like, the Orks are written perfectly, and the Space Wolves are written perfectly. And of course, the Orks are driving around blaring music out of their speakers.
Yeah.
Like, at one point, like, there's a whole scene where a bunch of human slaves are building, and there's a female commissar, which I'm pretty sure Gav stole from me, just FYI. Female commissar in blue armor, or in a blue commissar's outfit. I'm pretty sure, actually, wouldn't it be great if he actually, that is,
yeah, it would be, actually.
Commissar?
Yeah.
And she's driving around in a bolted up chimera, shouting like, our army has joined with the forces of Gazgul. Your work is, your work is, your work is very important to the cause of this worthy cause, whatever. And also, like, Orks are like playing drums and guitars and stuff at the same time. It's pretty great.
You've had Commissar Holt for a while.
Yeah, it's possible that
because
she's an inspiration. I choose to believe. And I'm sure that if I asked him, he would say it's true, even if it's not. Because he's a nice man.
Yeah.
The custom red button on the battle fortress are screen wipers, flexible scrapers deployed to clean the accumulated dirt and gore from the vision ports, which is nice. No effect, but I feel like these all have effects, right?
Yeah.
So
I think
they
the
can
squig
add.
should be the squig sandwich.
Oh yeah. So the button also adds to the move characteristic, improves ranged attacks, and looted wagon has on a 6 its hidden rockets. Until your next command phase, this model is equipped with 1 rocket launcher. It's just there's like a secret rocket compartment. The battle fortress is the 6 is Mordaka. Mordaka. Each time this model makes a ranged attack, an unmodified hit roll of 6 scores an additional hit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, the looted wagons are back, which is really nice, and they're perfect in Crusade. GW has always had a tough time with looted wagons, and Crusade has given. I think it's breathed some new life. Now, there's also a codex supplement for blood axes, which is cool. Blood axes are a lot of fun. We're not going to go too into this, but it's nice to have some custom rules for for specific clan, and also the speed mob, which you might be interested in, Jay.
Yeah, I saw that as I was flipping through.
80 of your hymnals. It makes your bikes objective secured.
Ooh.
Among many other things.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a really fun. Like, you lose your culture.
Yeah.
You're still a clan, so you can use the clan stratagems, I think. Yeah, so you can use like the +1 to wound stratagem if you want to use Death Skulls.
Mm-hmm.
They just wouldn't get obsec on troops, or on infantry. But if you're not using infantry, you don't care.
That's right.
But anyways, yeah, they get a +1 invulnerable save because they're moving at all times, and then they get a 5+ invulnerable save if they advance, which is really good because they're moving super fast. It's like they have Jink, basically. I would definitely recommend looking
I'm gonna
into
look at
this for
that.
your orc army. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of stratagems. They have special custom jobs, special warlord traits. The Speed King. While a friendly Speed Freaks unit, excluding character units, is within 6 inches of this warlord, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, reroll a wound roll of 1.
Ooh.
Reroll ones. Imagine, if you will, your warlord is there in their Death Killer War Trike, and all around them is a unit of 9 bikers shooting 108 attacks with +1 to wound and re-rolling wounds against an Imperial Knight on a 4+.
Oh wow!
Wounding on a 4+. It's pretty great, right?
Yeah, that unit would have to get renamed. Yeah. Immediately.
Oh yeah. It's pretty great. So this is fun. I think the books are good. The books are fun. I like the orcs. I'm not right now in match play. There's kind of one list, and that's not fun, but I don't care. In Crusade, it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of options. So it's kind of whatever in that regard.
Sorry, I'm reading the custom jobs for speed for the speed mob for the speed freak or speed mobs. So there's one job that's raise suspension. While this model is within engagement range of any enemy models, it is still able to make ranged attacks against enemy units that are not within engagement range of it. So it can shoot out of combat.
Yes, you need to build one of your your models with a raised suspension.
Oh,
So Jason, you should definitely use the book 2 Octarius rules for your speed mob instead, because I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Because I'm just flipping through this real quick while we're going over, and there's some hilarious stuff in here.
Mm-hmm. No, it's great.
Sorry, I'll quit.
What? No. What did you read?
Okay, lots of squigs. Use the stratagem in your shooting phase. Select one rocket truck squid buggy from your unit from your army. Add 1 to the number of squig mines that the unit has remaining.
Yes,
1 CP.
Dropping more squigs. Dropping more squigs. Yeah, no, that's freaking awesome. You just need more squig models, which is fine.
That's fine. That's easy. That's easy to take care of.
Oh, it is, especially since it's just this flat squig. You can actually make those with a press mold, no problem. Like it's the definition of what you would use a press mold for. So yeah, the Orc Codex. I think the takeaway for the Orc Codex, the new Orc Codex, is that the Codex, the units and stuff are really cool and fun and like in general. But I think that the main like mechanic of the Crusade rules is meh, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm having fun, so I think most people will have fun. It's just in matched play, I'll probably be bringing a different army, is all. And that's fine.
Yeah.
I have lots of armies. I should play them.
Yeah, I've seen. You have lots of orc armies. I mean, you have one big orc army, but boy, there's a lot of lists that can be pulled from there.
There's a lot of armies in that army, exactly. Yeah. So I'll never get bored with my crusade force.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Good. That's good. All right, so let's take a quick break, come back, and close out the show.
Hey Archons, does 9th edition have you feeling like the Slith Party Bus just doesn't have enough party for you? Well, if you want to put a little shock back into your shock brow, you need the Slith Party On! That's right, Archons. For 736 points, you can take 3 Archons, 12 Slith, and a Tantalus. It's the Slith Party On! Now I know what you're thinking. Couldn't I take Drazar, 15 Incubi, and a Tantalus, aka the Incubi Murder Boat, for 51 less points? Sure you could, but it wouldn't be the Slith Party On! But is it legal? Oh yeah! Is it awesome? Oh yeah! Is it any good on the table? No! It's the all-new Slith Party On. Sort of awesome. Party On! Really hilarious. Party On! It's the Slith Party on!
Oh, we've reached level 6. Welcome back. So next time, who knows what can happen next time, but I know the next topic that we're going to cover is going to be one that it's probably going to be a big episode, a big January episode for this, because we're going to be talking about the rogue traders and the inquisitors in Crusade. Mm-hmm. So we're both going to be doing separate notes on this one. I'm going to be covering the rogue traders, and Jason's going to be covering the inquisitors. And we're going to be talking about, what kind of army we would build for that in Crusade. So don't worry too much about army purity in either of these, because it won't matter really. We will talk about what you will lose when it comes to that sort of thing, but we can talk about that together. It's a complicated system, like the army quote unquote purity rules is complicated. Yeah, but in Crusade it doesn't matter as much, and we can talk a little bit about whether or not you actually want to observe those army purity limitations. Yeah. That's that'll be an interesting discussion. So now we could also talk about whether it matters. Who cares if you lose it? It's an awesome, it's Crusade. You shouldn't be hyper specializing your forces anyways. You shouldn't have to worry about that. Now, again, it would be really nice to get a game in and do an Altar of War. If we do, I don't know, we might release it on this feed instead of the Freebooters feed. I still have to edit. I still have 2 games to edit. I have been so not on the ball with that, and I apologize to everyone, and especially the Freebooted Network, which we did it for. I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. All right, guys. So I guess that's it. But until then,
play the game the way you want to.
Yeah. We'd love it if you could give us a positive rating and review on iTunes.
If you'd like to keep in contact with us, you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter by searching for Masters of the Forge.
And you can follow our hobby progress on Instagram with the hashtag Masters of the Forge.
If you'd like to engage with us directly, you can always join our Discord server.
To do so, or if you have any questions, topic suggestions, or if you'd like to advertise your creative hobby endeavor,
contact us at mastersoftheforge@gmail.com.
Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/mastersoftheforge. Thanks.
The music used in this podcast was made by Parad of the duo Sublevel 3. The track is used with his permission. This podcast is protected by the Creative Commons Attribution, No Derivatives, Non-Commercial, International License. More information about this license and contact information if you have any requests can be found at our blog, mastersoftheforge.com.
It's such a good feeling to play games your way. It's such a happy feeling 40K'ing away. And when you throw dice with story in mind, it's such a wonderful way to unwind. It's a good feeling, a very good feeling, the feeling you know that we'll be back when the fortnight's new, and we'll have new ideas for you, and you'll have things you'll want to talk about. We will too.